I know you will have a problem with the word miraculous here, but
Uh-huh. Which doesn't occur in the Quran, by the way, the word
oh, okay.
miraculous. So, I mean,
The, the,
the whole notion of
uh,
i'jaz, it just came later, but
uh, uh,
it's not a, the term isn't there. So,
okay.
yeah.
Can the Quran be considered unique, miraculously unique,
Mhm.
in terms of its literary qualities and its content? Is it incomparable to other texts?
It is unique, but it is not miraculously unique.
Okay.
Every text is unique. It's not just because it's the Quran. The collection of poetry by Mutanabbi is also unique.
Hmm.
For example, a famous Arab poet. The Quran is definitely unique, that there are no similar texts in terms of content and style, more or less. Style, and how it was compiled, and not necessarily the register of Arabic, but just its style. Now, miraculous, again, is a very loaded word.
What if we change the wording from miraculously unique to superior or sublime? So, can the Quran be considered superior in terms of literary qualities and content to any other book out there?
I wouldn't say superior, but I would say that the Quran, stylistically, it's written, composed in a very high register
Hmm.
of Arabic. It is used on the same level as Arabic poetry. Early Muslims, they were not quoting the Quran to prove scientific phenomena or mathematical phenomena. They were only using it for linguistic issues. So yes, the Quran is written in high register. Whether it's superior or not, it's not really a clear issue. I mean, it took more than 400 years for Muslim scholars to come up with a somehow a framework of what inimitability, stylistic inimitability. It took 400 years for someone to come and frame that in a theory of semantics and philology, etc. So you read something, oh well, this is miraculous, or this is superior. So what's miraculous about it? You have to feel it. You have to know Arabic. Okay, well, I know Arabic, but I still can't feel it.
Hmm.
Well, it's very subtle, really. It's not really something you can put your finger on.
If I were to write a competing book today,
Uh-huh.
considering that the Quran makes a challenge and it says if they are truthful, then or
Right.
let them produce something like it, or let them
Mhm.
produce something better. If I were to write a competing book today,
Mhm.
would it be possible to say this is objectively, so my book is objectively not equal to or better than the Quran?
No, because you will need 400 years for people to study your book. And then by that time, the Quran would have 2,800 years of people studying it. It's not going to happen. I mean, there's a famous Arab poet and writer. He wrote a competing book in the mid 4th century. That would be 10th century. His name is Abu al-Ala al-Ma'arri, very famous, one of,
Mhm.
like Shakespeare in English. And he wrote a book, a thick book, imitating the style of the Quran. It's published, it's available. It's called Al-Fusul wal-Ghayat. If people read Arabic on your channel and want to check it out, very eloquent. It's excellent masterpiece. And they asked him, they are making fun of him after he wrote it and published it. So what happened to your Quran? Why didn't it become famous? He said, well, it wasn't polished in mosques for 400 years.
Wow.
Right? And this is 10th century. So the point is, issues of superiority, it's not going to be an objective criterion where someone, oh, look, I produced something. People will always poke holes in whatever you write. And there's no really objective criteria to say, well, this verse or this poem is better than the other poem.
I find the challenge unreasonable or incoherent, if I may say, because even if I did intend to, and I don't intend to do this, but even if I did intend to write something down today that I would think is a competition to the Quran, no matter how good it is, people who value the Quran as the sublime book will always be able to say, no, your book is worse than the Quran because of this and this
Of
and this.
course.
And there's an endless supply of reasons to come up with why my
And
Quran.
you will need time. You will need 1,000 years of scholarship on your book to reach this level, right? And also the Quran, when it produces, there are also many problems with that challenge. Okay, produce a book like it or a chapter like it, but it doesn't specify from which perspective. Okay?
That's the thing. If you set a challenge without setting the rules
Right. So
of the challenge, then there is no
and
challenge.
that's what Muslim scholars debated. So it wasn't, again, the later narrative is all about the miraculous, inimitable nature of the text of the Quran. But also this wasn't the case early on. I mean, you see in the past, I would say 100, 150 years, because this argument started to lose favor. Why? Because many Muslims can't read the Quran in Arabic. 95% of them, even Arabs who can read the Quran, they only understand the simple chapters. Even educated Arabs can't read it unless they really have decent education in Arabic to read it and appreciate it. So you started to have this shifting narrative towards other miraculous issues in the Quran, mathematics, science, astrology, to support the argument that it's miraculous all over, not just syntax. Early scholarship didn't pay attention to that. It was only focusing on syntax because people had a stronger connection with the language, with the culture, with the text, and they were not thinking about numbers and astrology, medicine, all this stuff.